6 truly odd military traditions.
Left, right, left, right, left.
If you want to sign up for the military, there are a few things you need to know. And I don't mean how to shoot a gun or run 10 miles. What I'm talking about are all those weird traditions I expect you to be part of, soldier. Let's review. The Roof Stomp. The Roof Stomp is a tradition in the U.S. Air Force when a new commander is sworn in, or sometimes if there's a special occasion to celebrate. Although described as old school, this tradition is all in good fun, and it's seen as a good time by both the stomper and the stompee. The officers of a regiment will visit their new commander's house, climb up onto the roof, or sometimes if they're feeling lazy, stay on the porch, and proceed to stomp with reckless abandon and a lot of hollering. After some time and stomping have passed, the commander will open their door and let their new subordinates in for food, drink, and celebration. I guess that's one way to demand a party. Blood Wings. This tradition is a little bit more controversial, and although not officially sanctioned, it happens across multiple U.S. military branches, most prominently the U.S. Air Force and Marines. Nowadays, blood winging is seen as a form of hazing and banned, although from anecdotal stories of people in the military, it seems like some still uphold this bloody tradition. Officially banned since before the 1990s, there was evidence of it still happening afterward and was particularly highlighted by 2 incidents in 1991 and 1993, where U.S. Marines were caught on tape performing the ritual. They faced harsh punishments, and some were even officially discharged. So what exactly is blood winging? Simply, when Air Force cadets or Marines complete their initial training, their superior officers pound their new badges onto their shirts without any protection so that the spikes are hammered directly into the new recruit's chest, usually drawing blood. This can be particularly painful as some badges have more spikes than others. Despite the slightly gruesome nature of the hazing, some argue it helps build better relationships and saw it as a rite of passage in the military. Either way, it's not a tradition they'll be talking about publicly anytime soon.
Raid Shadow Legends has taken over, and gaming will never be the same again. Explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. Our top 3 history-related heroes we would recommend are Atlan, Septimus, and Shinoru. Use Atlan to return to Viking times, Septimus to relive the glory days of King Arthur, and Shinoru to evoke feudal Japan. And this month, Raids just released a giant new champion, a super-powered legendary version of everybody's favorite Death Knight. The whole raid community has been waiting for this one for a long time. You can also use the promo code for a bunch of free items to instantly level your new strongest champion. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click our link in the description or scan our QR code here on the screen. You'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Aina, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in-game.
Piano burning. A piano on fire can look pretty hardcore, but it's not just for meme purposes. In the US and British military, piano burning is actually a long-held tradition dating back as far as World War II, although no one seems entirely clear where it first began. Many believe it was the introduction of new recruits during the war that led to these burnings. Some sources claim the Royal Air Force was appalled at having new officers who were not of the upper class or considered gentlemen, and so forced them into daily piano lessons to improve their standing. When a fire in one squadron's house burned the piano to the ground, others realized that no piano meant no lessons, and soon piano burnings were happening across the Air Force. Other stories include a beloved fighter pilot who would play the piano after every mission, who was killed in action and his piano burnt in his memory. Regardless of where it originated, the piano burning tradition continues to this day in the Royal Air Force, sometimes for those killed in action, other times in memory, or a final hurrah for disbanded or deactivated units. Saber arch and sword butt tap. Getting married is meant to be one of the happiest days of your life and always involves lots of food, dancing, and of course, ceremony. This is even more true if you're a member of the military. There are many traditions surrounding getting hitched, including a formal military dress code, designated seating, and in the US, displaying of the American flag. but one of the most popular and dramatic is the saber arch the couple leave through after the ceremony ends. Originating within the British Army, it's now a tradition in many military weddings across the world. The saber team, as they're called, wait outside for the newlywed couple to emerge and raise their sabers into a high arch touching over the twosomes' heads. When they reach the last pair of sabers, the guard lowers them, preventing the couple from continuing. They'll usually then say the bride and groom need to kiss to be allowed to pass, at which point they'll raise their sabers and allow them to continue. In some ceremonies, the sword butt tap then also happens, where the wife is gently tapped on the bottom with the saber and welcomes them to the army. Assuming, of course, their partner is the one in the military, not themselves, and assuming the woman doesn't have an issue with this particular ritual. Rum rationing. Sailors, they're just pirates with official job titles. At least that's certainly how it may appear when you learn that rum rationing was a very real military tradition all the way up to 1970. Also known as the Daily Tot, the tradition dates back to what is now Jamaica in 1655, when rum was being used to hydrate British privateers invading Spanish territories in the Caribbean. Rum proved easier to preserve and find than freshwater, beer, or brandy, so much so that from 1731 British sailors were officially mandated by the Navy to receive a tot, or a half pint of rum each day. Tot doesn't quite seem to cover that. In 1740, Vice Admiral Edward Vernon ordered for the rum to be drunk in only 2 servings, one between 10 a.m. and 12 noon, and another in the late afternoon between 4 and 6 p.m. Unsurprisingly, this still led to some fairly rowdy behavior. Vernon additionally insisted for the rum to be mixed with a quart of water to try to keep some of the drunkenness at bay. 9 years later, the Vice Admiral even offered sailors the option to add sugar and limes to their rum in exchange for their bread and salt rations. In this way, the rum tot accidentally began curing sailors stricken with scurvy, as they were unwittingly being prescribed vitamin C. As centuries went on, the amount of rum or type of alcohol changed, but one thing remained the same. There was always a daily tot to enjoy. That is, of course, until 1970. Unfortunately, at that point, Parliament decided to stick its oar in the water and decreed that drunken sailors and daily tots of rum were incompatible with operating new technology and advanced weaponry, and that the daily tot should be banned. Henceforth, on July 31st, 1970, the rum ration was abolished, a dark day in British naval history that's still mourned annually by sailors and is known as Black Tot Day. But some other divisions continued the tradition, with the New Zealand Royal Navy continuing to serve daily tots of rum in the Caribbean and wine in the Mediterranean all the way up until 1990. The Great Pillow Fight of West Point Academy. West Point Academy is arguably the most prestigious military academy across the entire U.S. And until 2015, cadets who finished their first summer training there would blow off steam by participating in a giant campus-wide pillow fight. Usually held on August 20th, sources indicate that the Great Pillow Fight had been a tradition since at least 1897, and until 2015 was a light-hearted, fun way to build team spirit. But as always, one bad apple spoils the bunch, or in this case, a few. In the 2015 Great Pillow Fight, several cadets used their dense pillows to smash others to the concrete ground, or used their helmets or elbows instead to inflict more damage. The result was over 30 injuries requiring medical assistance, including cadets knocked unconscious, broken bones, concussions, and bloody lips. Sadly, this was to be the last pillow fight of West Point, with individuals ruining a 100-year-plus-old tradition by inevitably taking it too far. Tradition is an important part of the military and helps bond soldiers, sailors, pilots, and everyone in between together. Whether old or new, these truly odd traditions have earned their place in military history as bizarre, funny, and memorable.
Make sure you use the promo code for a bunch of free items to instantly level your new strongest champion. Or if you haven't tried Raid yet, click the link in the description or scan our QR code and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Aina, 200k silver, 1 energy refill and 1 XP boost and 1 ancient shard. So you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game.